I was dating a woman for a year, and there was a lot of contention in the relationship centered around religion. Her and her family are really devout Christians, and I'd consider myself kind of religiously homeless. I do believe there's a creator, and there probably is a correct religion, but I haven't found it for myself yet. And we had a lot of contention on that. Worked through it. I was going to church with her and her family and trying to find it for myself. And in the end, she ended up actually cheating on me. And after a year, I just kind of found out all the things we kind of held sacred and all the reasons I really fell for her and trusted her were lies from the start. And now I'm having a hard time understanding why I should keep searching for a religion or involving myself in the religious community when it seems like so many of the most devout religious people I meet don't live religious lives in the slightest behind closed doors.
Yeah. Wow, Fakes, great question. I really appreciate it. And I'm so glad you called today. Thank you. I really, really appreciate you. So this is a Catholic radio show on a Catholic radio station. So the answers that I give you are going to be particular to Catholicism, right? I'm not particularly interested in promoting something called religion. Like, that's not my job here. I am interested in talking about the Catholic Church and the Catholic answers to life questions. And I'll tell you first, right off the bat, that at least within the Catholic Church, I have been treated badly and betrayed and lied to and manipulated by Catholic people. I have been singularly unimpressed with Catholic lives, with hypocrisy, with superstition, with attention to outward ceremonies and doctrines without real regard for the transformation of interior lives and character. And I would like to add that I am guilty of all of the things I just criticized. So everything that I have found reprehensible about the lives of other Catholics could also be said of me. All right. I personally, I will confess to the crime of hypocrisy right now. All right. I'll confess to the sin of superstition, of shallowness, of lording it over others, of nitpicking on doctrines and ceremonies and ideas while disregarding the dignity of persons. I've done all of that. Okay. However, I recognize all of that is wrong. Everything for which I just indicted myself and the rest of my community, I recognize objectively that that's bad. One of the reasons that I am a Christian, it's not the only reason, but one of the reasons that I am a Christian is when I study the Gospels, the books about Jesus, I find that that was Jesus' major concern. When you actually read what Jesus said about the religious life, most of what he had to say, particularly when he interacted with other religious people and discussed their practice, was to draw attention to just the kind of faults that you have mentioned and to say, that's the wrong way to do it. And so the person of Jesus is always calling me back to a consideration of my motives, my virtues or lack thereof, my love or charity or my lack thereof, and all of the fake masks and artificiality and posing and posturing that people are wont to do to impress their neighbors and to self-aggrandize. Now, it's not only religious people that do this. I mean, you'll find this in corporations. You'll find it in political parties.
Oh, yeah.
It's a natural human behavior. But Jesus is the one that has called my attention to that fact, made it salient to me, and has given me tools to try to confront the problem. Now, from a Catholic point of view, what really counts at the end of the day is, are you living a charitable life? Charity is a fancy word for love. Like, are you loving your neighbor as yourself? Are you living a virtuous life? No, virtue is a word that gets thrown around. A lot of people mean different things, but I mean, what I mean is your life a well-balanced life so that your actions, your desires, your behavior, your activities are attractive, that they're noble, that the kind of things that you would want your child or grandchildren to emulate, right? You're living that kind of life. And that includes, are you living a reasonable life? A life where reason itself, where rationality is a principal concern, a principal criteria for judging human action. Not superstition, not mumbo-jumbo, but a rational assessment of the human and common good. And are you committed to that? Those are all Catholic values, and the reasons why I continue to practice in the Catholic Church. Because without the Catholic Church and without the teaching of Jesus, well, I wouldn't have the tools that I need to confront the hypocrisy and the posing and the artificiality that you find so reprehensible in human behavior.